Thanks for joining Orthoflex in our efforts to saddle horses more humanely and making riders more comfortable. What we will show you in the next few minutes is many of the different models we produce, our unique saddle tree making operation, and how our saddles are made from the inside out. The way our saddling technicians take your orders and how our staff processes the hundreds of details which makes your order special, and how your saddle is inspected and shipped. We'll also view the installation of the Orthoflex patented spring panel system and let you hear from a few satisfied Orthoflex owners. We make models of saddles with virtually hundreds of optional features. Our various models are based on one of three types of trees. Our Western tree, which incorporates various forks, cannels, and bar combinations. Our U.S. English tree, which is an adapted Western tree which provides greater support for both horse and rider. And our UK English saddles constructed on a very specific English tree, made for us to order by Otten & Butler Tree Manufacturing Company in Wassail, England. Nearly all Orthoflex saddles are sold over the phone by our saddling technicians. Orthoflex likes to deal with each customer individually. Each saddle that goes through production has an individual's name and serial number on it. Everyone in the plant knows it belongs to a person who is anxiously awaiting its arrival. As soon as an order is input into the computer system, a work order is printed and copies are distributed throughout the various departments of the saddle company. The first thing to take place in completing your order is having the leather cut. This happens even before the tree is produced. At this time, an order is sent to our Stockton, Missouri tree making operation, telling the staff there to build your tree. Unlike other U.S. saddleries, Orthoflex Saddle Company makes all of its own saddle trees out of native kiln-dried wood. We prefer to put forth this extra effort rather than rely on the inferior quality of wood typically found in mass-produced trees, which are then covered with rawhide for reinforcement. There are 34 different patterns for the parts of the trees in Orthoflex saddles. Our one-of-a-kind wood duplicators, designed by Lynn Brown, allow us to turn accurate parts which produce trees which are true, not crooked. These duplicators are one-of-a-kind, state-of-the-art in design. The tree parts are meticulously positioned for a true, correct tree, and then covered with 17-ounce crossweave mesh fiberglass and epoxy resin. This combination produces a tree which we guarantee for the life of the saddle. If anything causes the fiberglass to crack or the tree to break under use on a horse, we will replace it and the saddle free of charge. The ground seat is installed at this time. Each fiberglass ground seat has been specifically shaped for use in a given model of saddle. This shape was developed by Lynn Brown after many tries to develop the most comfortable seat type and use of a saddle. The ground seat is the key to the extraordinary comfort in Orthoflex saddles. It is very different from ground seats in traditional Western saddles, which are made of a metal strainer and shaped with layers of leather skived to shape. The trees are cured with ultraviolet light and heat, and once completed, are shipped to the saddle manufacturing facility in Nevada. Orthoflex trees are manufactured with slotted stirrup hangers. This type of construction creates a much narrower twist to the seat. Unlike the old-fashioned leather arrangement, which has the leathers pass up and over the bar of the tree. With stirrup hanger slots, we can create a narrower, more comfortable seat and can provide much greater stirrup and fender swing, which is important for rider comfort and for giving the horse aids and signals with the leg. When the tree arrives at the saddlery, the machined mounting inserts are drilled and set into place. The machined inserts ensure that the panels are mounted at just the right angles and that they won't break or back out of their mountings. The tree then goes to a department we call base seat and foam. In several of our Western models, the foam seat is installed directly on the fiberglass ground seat of the tree. All other models receive a leather, wet-molded base seat, which is formed to the tree. This base seat forms the bottom of the flap on U.S. English saddles, such as the stitch down or endurance cutback, and it forms the bottom of the seat skirt on Western models. On all other models of Western, Pleasure, Trail, and Distance saddles, and on U.S. Series saddles, we use a construction method which is unique only to Orthoflex. This construction produces a seat which is so much more comfortable than found on traditional Western and English saddles, and we don't worry about keeping it a secret. Other manufacturers wouldn't want to invest the labor and materials in it. It is on this base seat that our expert foam sculptors apply the correct combination of foams to result in the seat ordered. There are two choices of seat styles on all Western saddles and on the American Outback and Express Light, including a smooth seat and a stitch-down seat. The smooth seat is created by applying 1/2 inch thick neoprene foam to the base seat and skiving the edges for a smooth transition into the leather. If a stitch-down seat is ordered, the seat is foamed with neoprene foam plus soft upholstery foam which is sculpted to shape by hand and eye. Next, garment leather is stretched over the foam. In some cases, it takes 3 people to position the garment leather before it is smoothed into place. Once the garment leather is positioned and secured with glue and the correct stitching pattern is drawn on the leather, the entire base seat assembly comes off of the tree and it goes to the sewing machine. This type of sewing is very difficult. One English saddler visiting the United States told our seamstresses that his own machinist would refuse to do such hard work. It was unheard of, and he praised their work. When the seat is stitched, it waits for the tree to be finished. Meanwhile, the tree goes to the horn, fork, and bar cover department. Western saddles have their horns, pommels, and bars covered, while U.S. Series English saddles have their bars and pommels covered. While all of these processes have been happening to the tree, from the installation of the machine mountings for the spring panels through seat construction, other components of the saddle have been coming together on the opposite side of the shop. When the work order for a given saddle was distributed through the shop, as we said, the first thing to happen was for the leather to be cut. The leather cutter arranges the parts of the saddle on the hide chosen, being careful to cut around any natural scars in the hide and to position the patterns over the correct areas of the hide. Each hide is actually called a side, meaning that it is 1/2 of an entire hide. Some portions of the hide are thicker, some are thinner and stretchier. Every attempt is made to finish with pieces that are best suited to their jobs in the assembly of the saddle. Some must be thick and stiff, some must be more pliable. Orthoflex saddles are built with full top grain hides harvested in North America. None are from New Zealand nor from South America. Some are smooth, while others are full top grain hides which are hot stuffed with tallow and imprinted under 5,200 pounds of pressure for our most durable, longest lasting product. Old-fashioned Western saddles are made of 15-ounce cowhide, which is very thick, very stiff, and takes much riding to break in. Orthoflex, on the other hand, chooses 10-ounce cowhide. This leather is backed by more 10-ounce leather, grain side out, or as in fenders, it is backed by oiled boot leather. When people new to Orthoflex see our flexible fenders and feel the lighter weight of our saddles, they may think the leather is cheaper. Actually, the combination of 2 layers of leather is stronger because any lamination of more than 1 layer inherently has more strength. The key is that it doesn't matter how thick the leather. It all costs the same, whether it is 8-ounce or 15-ounce, and all our leather is top quality. The same team works on all the components of individual saddles. They enjoy the pride of knowing they have helped make a saddle for one of our special customers, and the consistency of their work shows in the final product. Edges are painstakingly dyed and finished. Now that the seat is foamed and finished, the tree is fully prepared. It is time for the tree to meet its components in final assembly. When completed, the saddle goes to final inspection, where an experienced saddler inspects each one of 50 features on the saddle. He gathers any accessories that are needed to go with the order, and if all passes inspection, he flags it so the shipping department knows it's ready to be boxed and sent. At this point, the shipping department checks the computer to verify that the saddle has been paid for in full and that the confirmation papers sent back with the original order were signed and returned to Orthoflex. If so, the saddle is boxed, the customer is called to notify the saddle is being shipped, and the saddle and accessories go to their new owner. When you receive your new saddle, the first thing you'll notice is the wonderful smell of leather. Don't worry about treating the leather until the saddle has become sweat-soaked or has been rained on and shows some dryness in the leather, at which time we recommend double-aught leatherizer, which can be obtained from any Orthoflex distributor. We hope you enjoyed this brief tour of our production facilities, and once again, we wish to thank you for your interest in joining the ranks of thousands of satisfied Orthoflex saddle owners. Orthoflex saddle owners are like no other because they know they own more than a saddle. They own the first true breakthrough in saddling technology in centuries. Orthoflex is used and endorsed by top competitors in every field, from three-time world champion endurance rider Becky Granhart to legendary ropers such as Dee Pickett, Kerry Kuntz, Fred Whitfield, and Clay Cooper, to mention just a few. Also, Orthoflex is endorsed and recommended by world-renowned trainer John Lyons.
I also have a saddle. This is what I use on my good horse. I've been testing this system. It has an Orthoflex system in it, and I've tested this system on my horse this past year. I think the first roping that I took this system to was the U.S. roping here in Scottsdale last February, and then I took it to the two-back roping down in Tucson, and Jake and I won the two-back roping with riding this system. It took a couple of weeks for me to really notice a difference, but this past year my horse has really improved in the way that he works, and I'm certain that this system has had a lot to do with that. I really like this Orthoflex system.
John, you started riding our saddle, the Baron Model G, back in about 1989, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I've had it for several years, 3 or possibly 4 years now, and I've ridden it constantly, and I have done just about everything with it. As I said, from roping steers to roping horses to uphill and downhill. But this is not only just super comfortable for me, and it's been an excellent wearing saddle, but it's just dynamite, you know, for the horses. So the system itself is a great system, but not only the front of the saddle, but the back of the saddle movement. And I think it takes a lot of pressure off of the kidneys of that horse, you know, on the back of his, you know, his back. A lot of pain to a horse will stop a horse's performance over a short period of time. A little bit of pain over a long period of time will also stop the horse's performance. So a saddle plays an extremely important role in the horse's performance, inasmuch if it's giving him any pain at all in there, then he's going to back off of it. It's got to be comfortable for me first as the rider, and then the third part of that is that the saddle has got to allow me to get my legs and my body in the right position over the horse when I need them there. If I can't move my legs forward, or if I can't get my leg in the right spot to give the horse a cue, then again the saddle becomes a deterrent to the to the performance of the horse, and it doesn't help me. I hope that if you're thinking about an Orthoflex saddle, I hope it gives you a little bit more to think about. Said I don't know everything there is to know about a saddle. In fact, there's a lot of things I don't know. But I can tell you, I've had very good luck with these saddles. I've enjoyed them. I think they're excellent for the horses' backs. I really believe in them.